Hey guys, Nick Biddle here coming at you with this week's Leadership Drip. Before I get into today's lesson on making hard decisions, I want to tell you about another thing or venture that I'm launching this summer, actually early this fall. But I'm launching a podcast. Last week or the week before, I told you about the Foreman's Inner Circle. But I'm also launching a podcast. And in this podcast, I'm going to be interviewing great leaders that I've run into in this industry. But I'm also going to be answering your questions. And so the favor I have for you right now is if you have a question that you would like for me to break down in a long format podcast, shoot it to me. Shoot it to me in an email. Shoot it to info@nickbiddle.com. Be as specific as you want. And if you want to rename anonymous, just tell me. If not, I'm gonna announce your name and where you're at in the podcast. But shoot me your questions. I think it could be some great conversation. But going into hard decisions, this is the second step of hard decisions, and sometimes we have to break it down. A lot of times when we're thinking about a decision to make, and I talk about this in my workshops, but a lot of times that decision we're trying to make is really like 8 decisions wrapped up in one. And I'm a big favor of LCD thinking, or lowest common denominator thinking. It's like if we can boil this decision down into the simplest form, what is the first step we have to make to really figure out how to make this hard decision? Let's say there's somebody in your organization that you are going to have to, or you feel like you might have to let go. You have to fire or lay off. A lot of times that decision can be hard because they're like, well, yeah, who am I going to replace them with? Or I really need more help right now. Or what are they going to do? And, their family, they need a job. And we get all of these different things. What kind of message is that going to send to the rest of my team? The first question is, are they a good fit in your organization? Forget about letting them go. Are they a good fit? Knowing what you know now, would you hire them again? If that's a no, well, then make that decision. It's like, okay, they're not a good fit. Now what's the next decision? Well, okay, is it beneficial in my organization for them to stay? That's a pretty simple question. It's like, well, no, they're not. Okay, well, we're inching our way down the road. And you might need to get rid of somebody that might be the right decision, but the timing might be wrong. And that's okay. But a lot of the decisions we make where we get stumped is because there's about 7 or 8 decisions wrapped up in one. My challenge to you is break those decisions down into the lowest common denominator. See what you come up with. All right, guys, send me your questions, info@nickbiddle.com for the podcast, and I will see you next week. Till then, take care.